Welcome to Mogobe Nuggets of Wisdom podcast. My name is Mompoloki Mogobe. Our objective is to enthuse, inspire, energize, and empower entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs of all stripes here in BW and beyond. We do so by inviting these entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs into our makeshift studio. Sometimes we call them to the restaurant, sometimes we go to our studio, and we ask them to share their experiential knowledge, their experiences and their expertise. And we ask them as many questions as we can, aimed at empowering you also as a viewer. Hello dear viewer and listener, my name is Mompoloki Mogobe. I'm coming to you again with another invigorating, exciting and illuminating episode of Mogobe Nuggets of Wisdom podcast. You're just going to love this one, guys. I brought you an entertainer. I brought you, a media personality. Let me put it that way. But as always, I leave it to my guests to introduce themselves. Welcome to the studio, Miss Zuziwe Mavuma.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Mogobe. I'm very excited to be here.
What a privilege to have you, and I'm so glad you honored our invitation. Would you care to just tell the viewers a bit about yourself?
Yeah, no, this question. So I'm a singer. First and foremost, it is who I am before I go into any other career of mine. I've been doing it since I was 18 professionally. And that's where most people can really find my passion. But I also do radio on Yarna FM. I host Saturdays and Sundays in the mornings. And I also do voiceover work. I do everything, acting, whatever anybody wants me for, I'm your girl. So yes, I am pretty excited. A media personality is who I've been since I was a kid. I've opened for so many artists, both international and national. So we can dig into that a little bit later, but that's who I am.
And dig we shall. And let's start with just your training professionally in terms of what you did, which schools you went to.
Okay, so I started my primary school, Northside Primary, from reception to standard 7. And then for a year, I went to South Africa Prestige College. And I mean, it was great, but I had skipped standard 7 and I didn't really like it. Going into a new environment, you're younger than everybody. I spent a year there, then I came back to Botswana, Rainbow. And that was fun. Rainbow to from 1 to Form 5, that was fun. That's where I got to experience my creativity. There was a lot of things that I did, which was acting, singing, dancing. I was emceeing at every single bash. So I got really used to that kind of lifestyle. I didn't mind doing the accounting and stuff, but that's not me.
It wasn't your passion.
No, it's not me. It was
you
not me.
You picked jazz among all these genres. Why did you pick jazz?
When I was done with Form 5, I joined a band called the Metrophones.
Metrophones.
Yes, Metropolitan had a competition and we all came out and I joined the band, and that's where I learned how to do jazz, how to read jazz standards. That's when I fell in love with jazz because that's what we were doing predominantly. And it was fun. I was 18.
Do you need to have a classical background to be good at jazz?
I do not have any background. I am a self-taught singer.
Oh, okay.
I have not studied, neither have I learned anything, but these are things that I really would like to learn now because there are a lot of young artists that I'd love to mentor.
Okay, you spoke of Metrophones, and there's also XXS having been part of your growth.
Yes.
How did they contribute?
Metrophones contributed from my life since I was 18 to, I don't know how old I was in 2016, but yeah, that's what. Metrophones, they gave me the foundation, they opened my doors. And then Double XS was a band that really, really only lasted for about 3 months because the drummer had to go to the UK. I had depression.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had a lot of depression, so I cut that off. And then the other artists grew. So we cut that for 3 months, and then I stayed with Metrophones up until 2016, and then I cut Metrophones as well because, like I said, having a lot of stress starting industry when you're 18, you go through a lot. It's not anything bad, just mentally.
Yeah.
So I had to stop when I was in 2016.
Yeah, I read about a top tennis star. What is her name? I can't say her name, but she's black and Japanese.
Yes.
She took like a whole year because of mental health issues, taking it. Talk a little bit about that. Sometimes it's important to take a break, isn't it?
It is.
And it happens to the best of us.
Yeah, 2016, I decided that I really didn't like some of the work ethic that we had here in the industry, because I started with them when I was young. I didn't experience a lot, and going through the money problems, musical problems, the dealing with other people that really didn't see your talent as something
Valuable.
that they yes, thank you, valuable.
That they should pay for.
So yeah, I cut it off and I didn't like it, and then I went into teaching, and I promised myself that I'd never do it again.
Okay, talk about Double XS. What's that?
Double XS was a great band. It was a fusion band. It had Kaya Groth. It had Kabelo Tamukate. It had Winton. My goodness, I forgot Winton's surname. But it had Winton inside, and I was the vocalist, and DJ Boogie Sid was DJing. So we'd play, and it was really amazing. We opened for Mikasa, Kobotswana Crafty. We had a few gigs here and there, but it was really great. I think I was 20 when I started that band with those gentlemen, and it was really amazing. Such eye-opening experiences, I guess.
What does it take to develop your voice to be ideal for jazz music? What does it take? What is the skill set required?
For anybody who wants to do it professionally, they really need to go to school, and they really need to study standards. They really need to study like the artists. I don't really study a lot of like proper jazz artists, but I study people like Anita Baker. I study people like Lala Hathaway. So they definitely opened my eyes to the jazz. And then also learning from Akutileng, Kekwaleti. She owns Kingdom Arts, and she took me under her, mentorship as well.
Does one need specialized vocalist training?
For me, no. But yes.
Because the talent is embedded. You're born with it.
Hey, yes.
Yeah, it was already in the genes.
Erra.
Okay. There's someone you shared a stage with who's very special called Zeus. Tell us about your interaction with him and the growth that you encountered as a result.
I love him so much, first and foremost. Shout out to Zeus. He's one of the artists in Botswana that really takes care of upcoming artists. So Zeus, whenever he had any gigs, go Botswana Craft to go anywhere, stadium, wherever, he was opening for all these different people. He'd take me and Sharon, and he'd backing vocalist us, and he paid us a good amount of money, more than what other people are paying. So he mentored us, he inspired us, and some of his music, he had us. Like, we'd go to the studio when I was young, but we'd go to the studio and they'd put me in the studio and they'd be like, sing. He'd nurture, and that's the kind of person Zeus is. He's a nurturer, he inspires, and he really, really pushes for the industry. So working with him was short of nothing but amazing.
One of the best highlights, or the highlights of my career as somebody who interviews people, was when I interviewed Oliver Mtukudzi in the context of our other show called Meet the Overcomers at Duma FM. I did that twice with him. He's an exceptional character, and it was so nice interacting with him. How was it for you? I see that you've worked with him.
It was a show, and I'm really, really hot sore about that show because the promoters did us dirty. But, we had Freshly Ground and Oliver Mtukudzi. And Oliver Mtukudzi, as soon as we got off stage, I remember that man came to us and told us how wonderful we are. He looked at me and this other girl named Dumisang, she sings, and he told us that we are gems and we should start treating ourselves as such, because he's never heard such raw talent like that. And for a man who's so well seasoned to be humble enough to come to you like that, I'm even getting the feeling
Goosebumps.
again. Yeah, because I forgot those feelings. And having someone like that come to you and say words like that, it's very, it's amazing. Yeah.
What about people like Lira? He was going through quite a tough time at the moment.
Love her.
I've watched her perform, and I wonder what impact people like that have. Especially Lyra. I mean, she's one of
Lyra. Yeah, she's amazing. She's very sweet. That was actually when I started 18. We opened for her at Botswana Craft, and we had a workshop with her. And
I think I was there.
Really?
I suspect I was there. I saw her at Botswana Craft.
Yes, she was performing Honoka, and we were opening for her as Metrophone. So she really gave us, me as a singer, I remember taking pictures with her. I remember sitting with her and doing vocal training. These people are humble. And when she got hurt, the stroke, it was really hard to see that, obviously, as somebody who loves her. But seeing her opening and singing for, American presidents, it's very inspirational. I want to see myself, at an inauguration or selling out Times Square. Because a person from South Africa can do it. A person from Botswana can do it.
Most
Anyone
definitely.
can do it. Yeah.
Okay, so who would you say is your biggest inspiration? We've been doing a fair amount of name dropping so far, but I mean, who's like the one?
Does it have to be from Botswana?
No.
I don't know. There's
From
a lot.
Botswana, it's already Zeus. He takes the prize.
No. Okay,
Okay.
I'm joking. Yes, it is. One of them is Zeus, but from Botswana, especially working with her and how everybody's so in love with her, and then getting to hang out with her and seeing her. She's just a chilled human being who just loves life. Mpho, Sibina. A lot of people love her, but I love her because she's so real. I got a moment to spend some time with her. She's very real, and she told me, don't let anybody change you and focus on your work. That's
Okay.
it. Leave the country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's an entrepreneurial side to all of this, and you mentioned how you were, not properly treated financially by some folks, to put it mildly. What would you advise? What systems would you put in place for singers to protect themselves and to make sure that they treat themselves as a business?
I think we've seen a lot of commotion with that these past few weeks. What an artist needs, which is what I can say, you need a team that can be loyal, a team that is for you and not for themselves, and a team that knows that the business is what is running here. I really got my team this year, and my team consists of my mother, who's the head manager, my friend Millie Beleme, who is the second head manager. She's the one who actually runs around with me and stuff like that. And then, you have your people who do financing. You have to have somebody who knows where your finances are going. If it's not yourself or your manager, just get somebody who does finances. And also get
Like an accountant?
Yes. Yeah. And then get somebody who is a runner. But a lot of Botswana need to know the ins and outs. Cost bots, they need to know how much things cost. They need to know how it's very expensive to do events. I can't keep all of this money myself. I have to pay every single person. These are things I've learned these past few years. It's just you have to run it like a proper business. Go register it, open a company, make sure people are paying you into that company. Yeah, just different things. I could go on.
Why do you think that singers tend to fall victim to this sort of, maybe not abuse, but certainly not being dealt with properly by sometimes organizers, sometimes managers?
Because we love it. I swear, I could sing for nothing. I'm not going to lie to you. I could sing for nothing. But tell me to talk, you're going to pay me. Because I love singing. It makes me feel good. It makes me go to another place. I've always enjoyed it. Even if it irritates people, So I think it's just, that's the problem. We just want to sing. That's it. And then when people, use you and, take your work for granted and they just abuse you and exploit you, then that's when you get hurt. That's why you have to have a team that is loyal and that is for you and running your business.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did you say is your favorite set of songs? The one that when you sing, you really feel that the best of you is exposed to the world or is presented to the world?
I hated the song because I've sang it too many times. But it's one of my own, and it's called Lekau. It was produced by a friend of mine. His name is Leroy Nyoni. And I love that song because it helped me come back to music.
Lekau as in gentleman.
Yes, Lekau. It's a beautiful love song. You must listen to it.
Yes.
So yeah, Lekau, that's the one song that brought me back to loving music. But other songs, definitely, I will keep saying Anita Baker, Jill Scott.
Which of Anita Baker's?
Caught Up in the Rapture, Sweet Love, all those ones.
Yeah.
Those are the ones I love singing on stage because it gets the listener just calm and yeah. And then you have I throw different Michael Jacksons, I throw Bolira, I throw my own Debbie with a T, who's a Motswana as well. I just throw different artists from different planes of life.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to put you in a corner and ask you to sing a little bit, a little snippet from your favorite piece.
Okay.
Even if you don't sing it, just say it.
No, I'll sing it for you. I don't mind. Actually, I do, but I don't. Okay, let me see what I can choose. Like, I guess I'll just do Lekau. It's my song. And It's quite easy. Okay. When I first met you, the world didn't seem so small. It took a while to get to know each other. I've never been the one to fall in love. It's always been impossible, predictable, and now I realize, ulika ulaka, kitapa fela, palerato, mulefeta when a baby. That's all I have.
Wow. This is the first time anyone has sung on this show. You've just made history and it's beautiful.
Awesome, thank you.
I can't help asking you, is there a particular gentleman who inspired this song?
Yes.
Okay.
You know what, it's whatever. Yes, I was dating someone when I wrote this song and he inspired it, but also the person who helped me produce the song inspired it as well because of our friendship. It's not like a complete love song. It's, I had a man that I was dating at that time.
Okay. All right. Okay. I won't ask any further than that.
You can. It's whatever.
Yeah. Listen, let's talk about radio. What drew you to radio, and as a medium, why did you like it?
I like talking. And when I was young, I used to pretend to interview myself doing exactly what I do on air. And it just called to me. But at the same time, I joined radio through a competition. My cousin sent me a message and we had to record a 40-second VN just doing a radio link. And I sent it in and, made it to the top 5. And that was how I got onto radio. But I love it so much. Very, very much, actually. Yeah. And
R&B and also Yarona, right? Are you at both?
No, I'm not at the other. I'm at just Yarona FM. I'm doing Saturdays and Sundays.
Okay.
That's my radio hela.
Oh, you used to be at R&B.
No.
RB, sorry.
No.
Radio Botswana, no? Oh, okay.
I don't want to say yes to things.
Yeah.
But yes, no. With them, yes, it's just a few work here and there, but it's not like a place job, yes.
Okay.
But for me, Yarona FM is where I've worked.
You've been
just
how
at
long?
Radio. 3 years.
And your gig is what time?
Saturdays and Sundays, 9 to 12 in the
Why
morning.
should anybody listen to you on that gig? What's so special about it?
I don't know, actually, but Sundays I have the best show. I'm joking. Sundays I have the best show. I go into health, wealth, spiritualism. I go into growing yourself. And then Saturdays I focus on music and, new upcoming artists. I'm really trying to focus on just growing the youth.
Okay.
When it comes to entertainment. I don't want them to think it's just easy money or for people to think that life just comes easily. I'm more of the person who wants to motivate a young person to stand up, make money for themselves, not worry about getting hand-me-downs from anybody, including, our government, because they do a lot. We're very spoiled as a nation. We need to stand up for ourselves.
I agree with that.
And that's what I do. My mom has taught me not to ask for handouts. I have to do things myself. And that's why I think it was difficult for me in the beginning. I just wanted everybody to help me. But now I'm like...
It's almost like you're liberated once you accept.
Very, very liberated.
Yes.
Yeah.
In Setswana we say,
Imagine.
so it's part of our culture.
Yes.
And then still on radio, I'm not clear as to why I should listen to the Sunday show. What's so special about it? Have you been trained in spirituality? What's there? What you bring people who are specialists in the area?
Yes.
What happens?
Yes.
Tell us more.
On Sundays, I bring a specialist who talks about cyber awareness and cyber security. So we're educating a lot of Botswana on finding out more about protecting, their companies, protecting just your rights basically when it comes to cyber. Cyber world.
Okay.
And then we have Dr. Bagat who also covers, people's health and we go deep. We go into menopause, we go into andropause, we go into cancer. Andropause is the male equivalent.
Bhagat is an authority in the area.
Bhagat is amazing, and I love the things he tells me, because he also helped. Like, he didn't help me, but every time he was on a different show, he was on my friend's show, and he was talking about weight loss and your mental health. I actually took nuggets, and that's what helped me get to the size that I am now. Yeah.
Thanks for mentioning the nuggets. Funniest encounters with other artists. Is there anything in particular that would, was funny or, humorous that you recall?
I mean, being a pretty girl, a lot of artists will try and definitely use their attraction. And I'm rough. I'll beat you up. So those are the funny encounters, but also...
What's wrong with that?
I don't like it when somebody wants to work with me because of the way I look.
Oh.
Yes. I want somebody to work with me because of what I'm bringing to the table.
Because of your talent.
Yeah, definitely. So whenever somebody rubs me the wrong way in that sense, I don't want to do it again. Yeah, that's a bit of my warrior spirit. But yes, anything else that's funny? I think I've fallen off the stage before and had to climb up.
While performing?
Yeah.
Okay. How did it happen?
I was having too much fun, and then I went to the stage and I fell off. But I had my mic in my hand, continued singing while I got up and ran on the stage, and the rest of the band was really having a good time with that. But those are just the funny things. But other than that, I love every single artist. I've never had any.
Speaking of falling, I've seen some artists throw themselves at the audience, and some get caught, some don't.
I don't want to ever try it, especially not here. I don't want to try that here because no one's going to catch me here.
Yeah, they'll say, what's she doing?
Yeah, no.
And then you land with the third.
Yes.
Okay. Then let's talk about the music and arts industry. There's some very positive things about it. For instance, personally, I've seen how in a space of a decade and a half, we've come to respect local music, whereas we never used to in the past. What other changes would you like to see in the industry?
There's a project that I did last year with a group of people that came from Denmark, and we were focusing on mental health and the music industry in Botswana. And there's this man, his name is Solisibutso, he plays the 4-string guitar. And he was talking to us about how we've forgotten about them. I know a lot of us are focusing on the new music and new school, and how we're doing a lot as artists. We're getting a lot of recognition now. But those men, Bonabo Solisibutso and all those men that created the foundation for us, we've forgotten about them and the culture. We've forgotten about liberal culture spheres, and we've forgotten about that stuff. So I want to kind of bring the mix of book cultural spheres with the new age. I want us to join each other and help each other out, because those poor men, they don't earn as much as we do because of the fact that we've forgotten about them as artists, as mentors, as, the people who set the foundation. So this is one thing that I really want the BW industry to start focusing on, growing those people in as much as they're growing us, because
and
we're
how
going
do
to
you go about doing that? Do you invite them to your gigs or what?
No, there has to be think tanks where we sit and we talk about how we're going to change the industry. We have to allocate different positions to different artists, because we know what we're going through, especially when it comes to mental health and the BW industry.
Okay.
Yes.
So and what advice would you give to others who are upcoming, those struggling artists who are coming behind you guys?
They should really, really go outside the country and learn a lot more. They should go into the country deeply, Kobo Letakane, Kobo Zana, Kobo Zowa, everywhere, and learn the culture of our people. I still have to do that, because now I was very sheltered. I grew up very... I don't very coddled by my parents. And then when I turned 18, that's when I started, But I think a lot of us as Botswana need to know more about our country, where we come from, and what everybody wants internationally, then put it all together. Yeah.
And you can't learn that on a device, because people are stuck to their devices.
No.
Shouldn't you advise them also about that?
Yes, please get off your phones. It's not good. It messes with your life. It messes with your mind. It messes with your time. Yes.
Do you think they're listening?
No.
Yeah, that's my fear. And then you've recently hosted a solo show.
Yes.
How was that, and why a solo show?
Hey, I've always been Zuziwe, attached to bands, attached to people, attached to everything, and not focusing on my artistry. And it really wasn't my idea fully. It was everyone's idea around me, because I am the type of person to give up before I get anywhere. So the show solely was
Not
done.
anymore, I don't think.
No. After that show, I swear to you, I will never doubt anything again. Like I said, I had a great team. My mom definitely came through for me. Millie also came through when she went and she looked for things. Like, the team did it. I just had to stand on the stage and sing, which is the best thing ever for me that I'd ever experienced in my life. I didn't have to pick up anything. I didn't have to think too much. I just had to set up the performance, set rehearsals time up. It was so amazing. All my aunties and uncles came out. Kids that I used to teach were there. My whole family was there except for my brother, my one brother.
Maybe he had a valid reason.
He was watching football.
No, I see. Yeah, that could be valid.
Yeah, but it was an amazing show, and we're definitely going to make more. We want to go into, Coachella vibes, rocking the daisies with people selling food.
Where was the show?
It was at Number One Ladies' house.
Okay. You mean up in Kale?
No. It's now at Village. It's moved to Tapong.
Oh, yeah, by the way.
Kako Village High.
And what was the biggest challenge?
The biggest challenge for me was money. Yeah, because, when you do something yourself, it's from your own pockets. But at the same time, I had, like I said to you, the team, even the sound guy, they all just said to me, it's okay. Let's do the show, and we'll talk about costs when we can. And then as soon as the show was done and we were able to, get back what we needed, the team was very gracious.
Are you planning on doing more of these? Okay. Is it like you're going solo entirely, solo albums?
Solo everything.
Okay.
I'm planning on just leaving.
Tell us the big secrets.
There's really no secrets, but yes, like I said, we're planning on having a show in September, early September, and we want to do spring vibes, and we're going to try pull that off. I'm working on some great music. Recently, which is yesterday, I released a song. Well, DJ Cops released a song featuring me. It's called Hold On. And the reception has been absolutely amazing, and they love it. And we're going to work on some more music. We've got...
I'm going to ask you to sing it a little bit.
Batung, again.
Just a tiny bit of that new one.
Okay.
Because I know that it's easy for you.
It's not. It's not. It's just that I'm comfortable here.
Oh, okay. Good. Go ahead.
So, yeah. Zala. Hold on to your light. Feel it every time. There's no answer in the sky. Make sure you know who you are inside. Yeah. That's
wow. Goodness. Sounds like really you're giving psychological advice. Make sure who you know who you are inside. Okay, so in terms of, apart from the September show, what else can we expect in the coming 18 months or so?
18 months is a long time, but definitely an album or an EP. We're still trying to figure out which one we want to go with. I'm trying to penetrate the South African industry. Just so that I can get a bigger audience. I want to work with a lot of artists in BW, upcoming, already found their foundation from back in the day. I just want to make it everybody, include everybody. There's also a lot of other things that we're going to work on, because we're trying to turn the business into a brand. We want to also turn the business into a school, We want to turn the business into, a media. We just want to turn the business into something really big. That is the plan. But 18 months, more shows. I'm going to be traveling and meeting a lot more people and singing in rooms where people are talking about me and I don't know.
From where I'm sitting, the most successful, group from Botswana is Culture Spears, especially in South Africa. What is that trick? And do you think they're doing things that can be replicated by people such as yourself?
That's why I said, Jorge, in order for me to grow as an artist, I have to know more about myself. Culture Spears is authentic. Those guys, Baopela, Minos Chana, for Bachana, and I know South Africans like to take and say it's theirs, because for some time they said Culture Spears but Culture Spears made it big simply because of their authenticity. If you catch the Limpopians, you are like, yeah, banana kids.
So how does one replicate that, the idea of being genuine? How do you cultivate that? Is it by, like you said, going back to your roots and things like that?
Finding out who you are. Seriously, I mean, I need to do better. And just learn more about where I'm from. I'm also half Xhosa, so I need to learn that as well. But I just want to be more authentic and be more real, because a lot of people are making it big with cultural music, actually.
Okay. What about sales? How do you get to the top 5, top 10? Have you had any luck in that regard, and how does one really position themselves?
Most of the songs I've released have made it to body top 10, top 7, top 5, top 2, but I've never had a work of art, which is an album, be judged. So I wouldn't really say that I've made it to the top stuff, but yeah, most of the stuff I do goes to the top.
So, but it's something you're aiming for.
Yes, definitely,
Okay.
definitely.
Number 1 album, it's coming.
Thank you.
And
number
then,
1.
what about awards? Have you the Bomus of this world, and so on?
That's why I said to you, my mental health really made me not want to be a part of any kind of award ceremony, award giving in BW, because of the fact that I just felt like I wasn't good enough, or my talent wasn't good enough, or that, things like that. But definitely.
Meaning you didn't even submit your stuff for competition. But I think you saw some guys taking trophies as I can do a lot better than that.
I don't even. I plead the fifth. I'm not saying anything about that.
Yeah, but I suspect you said, no.
I did.
Yeah,
a lot.
Yeah, I can do better than that.
I did.
So based on that experience, shouldn't we officially declare that you're going to submit to the Bomus next time?
Yes, definitely. And I need to register with Cosbots. I need to do it all. I need to do it all.
What about the Yamas?
The Yamas, we'll see.
What is your problem with the Yamas?
No, I don't have a problem with them.
Why
it's just that I've never submitted or never had a song that's myself. Like, it's always me featuring. Like I said, it's always me featuring on somebody's work of art. It's never just my stuff. And I know that if I want to win an award, I got to do it myself.
And maybe get a new manager to put these things through.
They just started the job.
Oh, okay. Okay, you didn't have one before.
No, I was working by myself, everything. Now they just started the job.
My bad.
Doing really good.
Because a good manager should submit you to these things so that you have more exposure.
Yes.
Okay. You want to say anything about the House of Zoo?
The House of Zoo is, the brand, I guess, for now. And we really just want people to get used to Zuziwe, who she is as a singer, as a radio presenter, as a humanitarian.
So, in fact, the company you're forming will be the House of Zoo Incorporated?
No.
Or the House of Zoo?
We're still juggling names. I love the House of Zoo, but, that's all I'm going to say about that. But I love the House of Zoo, and it has a little bit of tied knots that we have to just,
Okay. Lipirimile was one of the things you've done recently. Tell us about that.
There's a DJ who is a Motswana. He's based in South Africa. His name is Kaliba. And he had been reaching out to me for so many years to work. But I guess with Lipirimile, took the beat, went to Berry Bone Studio, Mobotswana. Wow, Mobotswana.
Mogaborone.
And we did the song in less than an hour because honestly I wasn't feeling it. I was not feeling it. I was already stressed, and we went in there, did the song.
Start to finish in less than an hour?
Yeah.
Okay. The lyrics were already there?
No, I had to write down the lyrics.
Okay.
It's just that I had the beat for, I think, a month. So I had already put down sentences and stuff like that. But I don't like writing. I like going to the studio and putting down 2 sentences and working with them. But yes, Lipirimile worked with Kaliba. It blew up. It was playing on radio stations in South Africa. Here as well, shout out to all the radio stations. They never ever cease to not play my music. They love it. So yeah, it was great. Lipirimile was a great opening for me. Shot a music video. It's on YouTube, and yeah.
I've heard of a thing called writer's block for people who write. And I wonder whether there's any such thing as a singer's block. And how do you deal with it?
Singer's block is painful. That's what I went through, like, for 4 years.
Tell me about your experience.
You just don't feel motivated. Like, even when music is playing, you don't feel it. You don't attach to it. I don't know if you understand what I mean. As a singer, when you write, you really have to attach to a certain part of the song, and that's what actually ignites you. So I was missing that for a very long time. I think 4 years was the longest I've had singer's block. Where you don't want to do a single thing and you are sitting in a depressive state because even when you listen to your favorite songs,
nothing comes out.
Nothing happens.
How do you counteract it? And how did you manage to get out of that glut?
Like I said, it had to do with my spiritual side. It had to do, like, you start off with reading the Bible. And for those of you that love God, you start off with reading the Bible and you go through all the stories, and then you sit with yourself and you want to change yourself. I mean, I was drinking quite a lot, Monday to Monday.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was in a long distance relationship, so that was another one. And what else? I wasn't in great friendships. I wasn't in a great working environment. Like I said, I was teaching. I love teaching, but for me, it was a lot of mental strain. And I just cut off all those things. 2019,
So you're a teetotaler now?
I'm a what?
You're a teetotaler. You don't drink at all?
No. Once a month, twice a month, I'll go party with my friends, but it's nothing intense, especially because of my vocals and what I want to do.
Okay.
But yeah, I cut off everything, friends, everything, and I started afresh.
Okay. Was it through the process of counseling or therapy or whatever?
My grandma's a nurse and my mother I tell her everything. So I went to Mushupa for 8 months and I
stayed with them.
COVID times when we had lockdown. I just went there and that was it. And then I came back and I had lost about like 10 kgs and then I lost the further 15 kgs and then I was back to who I am.
So net, COVID was a positive for you?
Yes. Weirdly so. It was the most positive thing that happened to me 2020. Yeah.
You want to say more about that?
I mean, in terms of work, no. For 2 years, I wasn't working. I was only on radio, obviously. Shout out to them because they saved my life as well. And it helped me just really go into a very safe space. I don't know what to call it because I never know how to say it in words. It was I was in a womb again. I was in a very safe, like I was in the bosom of my mother and I was in the womb. I was going through a rebirth. I was becoming the person that I really want to be right now. And that person is far different from even artistically, even everything, mentally, physically, everything.
The important thing is you were prepared to be a student. You were prepared to sit by their feet and learn. Yes. Something you may not have previously been ready, which is why they say when the student is ready.
I mean, as a young woman, it's hard to accept that you made a few mistakes. But once you sit down, like you're saying, and you are ready to be a student, it flows. Yeah.
You've mastered your craft to the point of dominating somewhat in both music and radio. What did you say can you compare and contrast the two?
Yes.
What are the comparables?
With radio, it's actually one of my insecurities, talking, because I struggle with constructing proper sentences. I
beg to myself. Differ.
How?
I beg to differ very strongly from what I've seen.
Yeah, but that's the difference with radio because of talking and how people perceive you as a person. You can have your own perspective, but if somebody doesn't understand you, if somebody doesn't feel you, they can just shut you down. But with singing, I don't care because it makes me feel good. It fills up that empty space in my heart. Radio is like this girl, but singing is the one inside that nobody
I would have thought radio, there's more security in the sense that you don't even see the people and you don't even see if they're changing channels. So you do your own thing as much as you can.
But we have to be here. And we have to be here clicking things and talking and prep. And it's just an insecurity because I'm such a perfectionist. I really want what I say to be really good.
Yeah.
But if it's not good, then I'll beat myself up. Once I'm switching off that mic, I'm sitting there like, but why did I say this? Singing, I don't care. I can sing anything, anywhere, and I'm good.
Because besides, the songs are pre-practiced.
Pre-loved.
Yeah. But in terms of putting the dough on the table, which one do you say is more lucrative? Or
singing.
Okay.
Even if it's not lucrative singing, I'll pick it any day.
Okay. Because radio in Botswana doesn't put the dough on the table. Not enough.
It does not.
Yeah. You have to explain that answer.
I mean, it does. When you're working, it does. For me, every end of the month, I enjoy it very much. There's a lot I'm learning from, the producers, from the, PM, from the everyone. I'm learning a lot from them. But there could be a lot more that I can get exposed to in order for me to really, really excel at being a radio presenter. Like, I wish that I had doors that I could go into being Zuziwe Mavuma from Yarna FM. I wish I could walk into, any ministry and sit with any minister and ask them, okay, I don't know much about your job. What is your job? So that you can tell me so that I can tell my listener my way. Or walk into a restaurant and talk to the owner of the restaurant and say, my guy, but they don't give you that much freedom.
I give you access.
Oh, come on. I will be
talk
back.
To me about
I
black
will be back.
But I understand what you're saying. You're told to make appointments and then it takes forever. And there's no open door policy sometimes. And
it's not cool.
There.
Also, they give you rules and regulations, so you don't have as much freedom. Yeah.
Okay, but how are you changing that? Because I believe that to get to any point, you have to keep hitting on the doors until.
The best advice I've gotten from those at radio that I work with is just do it. Do it. Make it sound good. Make it sound good. Make it look good. And even if you don't get approval from other people, if it's good and it sounds good and it's clean, just do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What will determine that you've done? I've got to say this right because this is a very important question. Let me paraphrase. What will determine that you've done your part in this industry? What's the biggest thing you want to accomplish in this space?
I've already started, which is I'm talking to a lot of young artists who I believe are going to change the narrative when it comes to the industry in Botswana, because these are people that really, really have struggled at a young age to be who they are. They've suffered with disabilities. They've suffered with, I'll go back, mental health issues. They've suffered with different things that can hurt somebody. And these are people, when you work with people that are hurt and talented, you can change the entire world, because those people, their trauma I'm doing that to some of my brothers, my cousins, my friends, young artists. I'm showing them that it's okay to go through their trauma, but they should hold on to it and want to change the world. So I think I've already started. I want to even meet babies, young kids who know they are talented, but they don't have the proper backgrounds to help them.
Yeah, but the question is, what tangible thing will you say and look at and say, no, I've done my part?
Oh, you mean like right now?
Yeah. Like maybe not immediately in the long term. It's actually the crystal ball question of, 10, 20 years down the line.
Okay.
What is that one thing or those series of things that will say when you've done, you've had an impact?
Honestly, the first one is breaking borders and breaking boundaries for the young Motswana artist. Also being a woman, I want to see myself. I don't even know why I'm saying this out loud, but I really want to see myself sitting with a lot of powerful people and having my gift change them. And by powerful people, I mean like people that rule countries, presidents,
Kings, queens, and presidents.
Exactly. I wanted to say kings, queens, and presidents, but I didn't want to be too much. But that's my goal. I want to go into a room and make sure that when they see me, they see where I come from, they see what I'm coming with, and yeah. But also, I'm focused on the kids. The kids are the future.
Okay.
I'm focused on people younger than me. I'm focused on people that are hungry. It doesn't have to be just industry, music, anything. So,
speaking of kids, you hinted at a school or an academy of sorts. What's the plan there?
oh no, that is my friend who I started Metrophones with. Her name is Akuteleng Gekwaletse, and she teaches music. She has a whole school where they teach you how to read, write, and play music. You can play any instruments, saxophone, guitar, drum, anything you can think of. Her school facilitates it, and it is in Botswana. It's called Kingdom Arts Academy.
So you're part of it?
No, I'm part of the Metrophones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So is the plan to, because you did say you want to teach at some point.
Yeah, I would definitely love to open a media company that teaches children about media, about music, about life in general.
Okay. All right. We're getting to a point where you'll get to ask me a question. But before you do, let me ask you just two more questions. What's going to happen to brand Mavuma, Zuziwe Mavuma? And what's going to happen to the brand if you think of yourself as a brand looking down the road, even 10, 15 years?
Well, the brand will be huge. I have a great imagination. And like I said, when I was 7, sitting in my room planning to be a singer and a radio presenter, about 20 years later, I'm doing that. I've planned to sell out in Times Square. I've planned to meet kings and queens, presidents. I've planned to meet people who want to change the world. So slowly but surely, that's where I'm going. But in about a year, I want to be in Cape Town. That's where I want to be, playing jazz, singing, and meeting.
What about the rest of Africa?
If I would love to go to a place, it would be Ethiopia. I told people I identify as Ethiopian.
In another life.
I identify as Ethiopian because I love their culture. I love the way they dance. I love the way they look. And
I love the fact that they've never been colonized.
And we're in the year 2014. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time.
And of course, they're beautiful people.
Beautiful, gorgeous.
And most of them are Jews or something. There's a Jewish connection there. Okay. All right, let's not go further.
Yes.
Time for you to ask me a question.
Okay. What do you think is wrong with the music industry in Botswana?
Certain things have been done in a way that the general public doesn't seem to look at the Cosmos thing. I don't think they've done a good job of convincing restaurant owners or bar owners why they're paying the amounts they're paying for. So there's need to be greater engagement. But I'd like to focus on the positive, which is that, look, we've really gone through a huge mind shift.
Okay.
Yes, we still get excited about South African artists, but we also get excited about our own. So we're at a time where talent is really, if you're talent, somebody like you, I mean, talent is really recognized. We're no longer undermining our musicians. So that's on the positive front that I notice, that I see that's happening. I've interviewed people from Bomu. I've interviewed people, somebody like Gilbert. And these guys are now beginning to rake it. They're beginning to do very, very well in the music industry. So there's a lot to be said for the industry. And, you know, to have talents and gems like you wanting to cross over the country, that's exciting.
Yeah.
It's exciting. There's a lot of excitement in the industry. I know at the height of COVID, we're terrified a little bit. We had some people like Boka Roma changing jobs and
suffering.
Yeah, and starting other businesses. But I think now that things have opened up, they're carrying on with those businesses, but they're not forgetting their first love.
Never, and I love them.
I wonder
so
whether
much.
you've done You've done, a duo or something with
We did a show
Lerumo.
for the president actually during COVID with the Ladies of Jazz.
Yeah.
And it was debut with the TNI, Ladies of Jazz, WDP, and we were singing for the president and his entourage and friends, and and I don't know what they were hosting that time, but it was really great. I love those women.
That's the
Yes,
stuff
love
that turns
those women so
That's
much.
what turns me on. So, in terms of the music, what excites me, but I'm not going to say what I don't like. I'm going to tell you what I like.
Awesome.
Yeah. You see that camera over there?
Yes.
Yeah. Your chance to talk to that individual, inspire them, leave them with something uplifting, something they can take home, so to speak.
All right. So, yes, as a Dumelang, actually, listeners and watchers of Mogobe Nuggets of Wisdom. My name is Zuziwe Mavuma, and I just wanted to let you know that anything is possible in this world. If you believe in yourself and you look at your life and you really don't know where you're going, see this girl. She came back from a lot of hardship, a lot of negativity, a lot of anger, a lot of trauma, and a lot of pain, and we're doing it. So what you need to do as a person is wake up in the morning, get your book, write. If you are a creator with your hands, paint. So do what you're doing every day. Give it 10 minutes, give it 15 minutes, give it something, and then share it with the world, because there's somebody out there who's going to love what you're doing. Don't think about any naysayers. Just do it. Yeah.
Okay. Now, before you give them your contact details, just leave them with one short little tune. Say bye-bye. As a way of saying bye-bye.
I don't know if it's going to be serious.
Yeah.
It might be a joke, because I am one. I'm joking.
Yeah.
Here we go. Okay, it's my friend. Her name is Debbie with a T, and this is her song. It's called Let's Itzy. And I'll just do the chorus for you. Letsatsi, you gotta see it through their eyes. You are sunshine. Know it in your heart. You are Letsatsi. You gotta feel it, see it, believe. You are sunshine.
Beautiful.
Today,
beautiful.
Mr. Mogobe is exploiting me.
For the good.
Yes, for
I
the
agree.
good.
Yeah. Listen, guys, you probably want her contact details in terms of on social media and directly. How do people take this conversation further and get to take advantage of your skills and your products and so on?
All right, so if anybody's looking to work with me and they want to send in any kind of music, make sure you send it to bookingszuziwemavuma@gmail.com. You can follow me on my social media platforms. On Facebook, it's Zuziwe Mavuma. And then on Instagram, it's Zuziwe Nontla Mavuma. And on Twitter, it's official Zuziwe. So just go on my social media platforms and follow me. And the best way to get any contact details is at bookings. That's where you'll be able to get our contact details, and we can call and talk to you. We're very open to any collaborations.
Otherwise, they can hear your voice on?
Otherwise they can hear my voice on Yarna FM on the House of Zoo, 9 a.m. to 12 noon. Having a good time.
Okay, wonderful stuff. Thank you very much, Ma. You've really uplifted the studio. You've
Thank you
really
for having
energized us, which
Thank
is what
you.
this show is about.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you.